Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Corelli. This is episode 372 from my Cat Vibes series. Today we're making a frame for one of my paintings called Into the Warkanum. And before we go any further, of course, I want to urge you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching me on YouTube. This will help me out. And don't forget to enable all notifications. Hit that bell notification. So today, I decided that I'll just make one of these videos when I'm actually making something. Because for the most part, I'm doing the paint-through videos where I'm just, turning on the camera and basically just recording whatever I'm painting. I'm not doing that same thing with drawing though, even though recently I went back to the drawing board, so to speak, and I practice sketching and that kind of thing. But I just think it's too tedious to film that as well. This is just way too much. But I'm filming probably all of my paintings. And then once in a while I also put out, my lyric videos or guitar playthrough videos. Which is cool, but occasionally I feel like I just want to throw in something else. And this is one of those something else videos. I bought this trimmer on Temu, by the way. I'm not endorsing this brand or anything like that. I think it's a fairly good trimmer, but I think that, first of all, this was one of the first frames that I was making. And two is that, first I was trying to use this trimmer on wood that was way too hard. So that was difficult to handle. Now, what I was doing in the beginning, I was just doing the basic trimming, the grooves and whatever's going to be on the face of the frame. This, what I'm doing here, the 45-degree miter cut, this I'm doing for the inner frame that will hold the painting in place under the face. See what I mean? You'll see how it comes together. This is actually a wonderful miter saw by Cobalt. It's very straightforward, robust, simple. It felt kind of scary in the beginning when I got it. But it saves me so much time, frankly, because the first under frames and the first frames that I was making, I was doing that basically by hand for a very long time for the first year, and it was so frustrating. So these things that I was just cutting, they go into the inside. This is the back of the frame, and they go onto the inside. They're cut to size to hold the painting in place. So you see there's a rabbit. You can see that lip. That's what's going to be holding the painting in place from falling out. I'm using some wood glue. And I don't care if this inner frame doesn't line up exactly. The point is that it should hold the painting. And it's all measured and cut to the size of the painting. Now, the thing about paintings is that because I am stretching canvases by hand, and for now I'm dealing with older paintings, I wasn't that good at stretching, so you had this bulging canvas somewhere in the corner poking out. I'm using Tide Bond original wood glue. That's the best thing that I know that actually works. I don't know, maybe the green one is better, maybe whatever the other brand is, Gorilla or something like that. Maybe someone likes that, I have no idea, but it works for me, and it does a very good job. So I glued together the outer frame, the face, right, glued on the inside frame from the back. And now I'm using some cover stain by Zinsser. And that's an old jar that I had. It was almost all gone. I'm priming the wood before painting it. So that takes some time. I'm deliberately not sanding down and not using a planer to make ideal cuts. I think it's part of the aesthetic. I kind of like it that it's it has little crevices in it. I took out the knot over there, you can see it on that side of the frame, and deliberately left that dent there. I deliberately didn't use any filler. Yeah, I kind of like it this way. That's the point. So here we go. The Zinsser primer is done. It's dry. It actually dries pretty quickly. You see I was using a staple gun on the back to hold before gluing. Or rather to allow the frame to glue together properly. And now I'm using, Valspar. I believe this is Valspar. There was a jar of black paint. I've already painted with spray paint at that point. I was using some gold metallic spray paint. First, I was using some painter's tape apparently. When that was dry, this is the next step. So Valspar. There we go. It's not chalk paint. It's in black enamel paint, as far as I remember, and that's the paint that I had. So that's why I'm using it. But it's good, and it sits very well on the Zinsser cover stain. No problem whatsoever. Even though this is an old jar of paint, I have to say. It's not fresh. It's been around maybe for, I don't know, around 10 years. It's just nobody used it. I found this jar of paint here, so used it up successfully, all of it, for my intensive purposes. So, well, this is the next step, painting all of this. At this point, and actually this paint dries out pretty quickly too. Oh, and that's the end of the video. So this is what the face of it looks like. I personally, I like it that it is not perfect, that it's not, you can see that it's made by hand, and that's kind of part of the point. Drilled and screwed on all this hardware here and the wire, all of this, did it all by hand. Here's the finished painting in the custom frame. Here it is, ready to hang. Here's what it looks like, with all the little dents and all that, which I think makes a frame unique. So, thank you very much for being with me, and you will hear me next time. Ciao.